Hello everybody, it's your boy N here. I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. Now we all know Ajax was already absolutely cracked when it came to bossing, but as a DPS, he just got himself a million times more of an upgrade. The Ajax Perforator setup was already cracked, but this one I feel is almost better. Let's have a look at it. So starting off with the actual Ajax setup, let's get on into the mods. Now, with the mods for Ajax, this is 100% going to be a mobile fortress build. This is because we are going to take advantage of just the way Ajax fundamentally works. We'll start off with mid-air maneuvering, and for this build, we are going to start off by putting two cooldown mods on. So we're going to go in with MP conversion as well as nimble fingers. Now we will be focusing on Ajax's passive ability, which gives us 20% cooldown reduction and a ton of fire rate, but we primarily want to focus on that cooldown and the explosive attack increase, but don't worry, we'll come into that soon. So we're going to get some cooldown from the passive as well, so don't worry about it too much as of this moment. Now with Ajax as well, if you look at his abilities, primarily his first and his fourth ability, which gives us a crit rate increase on firearms and crit damage increase on firearms, we are going to want to make this barrier work in the best way possible, along with the trigger mod we will be using too. So for this, we are going to add a nice little kick of some range on Ajax, and because we don't care about his skills, we will be using maximized range because his skills are not going to be doing DPS. As well as that, we will also be adding some duration. So we are going to go with skill extension as well as maximized duration in this instance. Now, with Ajax specifically, if you look at his abilities, you'll see that it scales based off the defense amount up to a maximum multiplier of 224%. Also, good morning, Slim. I hope you're doing well. So we're going to focus on defense with Ajax. The defense goal is around 325,000 defense. So without an Ancestor, you'll only be able to get so high, but with an Ancestor, you will be able to reach it. So we'll talk about in the Ancestor section of this video, but for now, let's go with this. We're going to go with defense for shield conversion, which will give us 166 defense. We will be going with increased defense, and we will also be going with agony. So this will give us a nice kick of defense. And then for our final mod, because we are gunning, we are going to be using shot focus specifically. So there you go. Now the build that brings all of this Ajax together is going to be the trigger mod, and that is going to be supply fortress. Ideally, you want as high of a rate on here of recovery chance when you have this trigger mod, but this is going to be what brings this together, especially for that first and fourth ability. The way we will be using Ajax is by using his first ability, which is a barrier skill, which does recover rounds. We'll be using our first, and then I'll show you the little loop that I like to use with Ajax that makes it really easy. So we'll get to that later, but the short version is ability 1, ability 2, ability 3, ability 4 will become your enhanced ability, because if you look at the enhanced, that's where we're going to get a nice crit rate and nice crit damage increase. Then we want to fill up his bar to take advantage of his passive. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 again, and then our duration is going to be what's holding this build out. The longer the duration on this over here, or just the duration on the first ability as well, is going to be what is going to be recovering us rounds really nicely. And then we'll be getting our fire rate buff from here, as well as just a ton of ammo regenerating, and we'll be going nuts with this build for Ajax. So now let's have a look at the other parts of this video. So with Ajax's other parts for the setup, fairly simplistic. For the weapon, we will be going with the Thunder Cage. So this is going to be an electric-centric build, so that's what we will be going with. For the reactor, I've gone with cooldown and with range, just because range kind of actually works out with this build. You could also go with cost on here as well. Non-attribute tech is ideal, but then again, it doesn't really matter too much with Ajax. So, yeah, we'll go with that. Next up, let's have a quick look at the external components. Now with the external components, we're going to be going with 2 pieces of Shell Crusher as well as 2 pieces of the Moving Fortress set. Specifically with this as well, we will be going with it in this format. So where is the moving, I can't spell moving anymore, Moving Fortress set? We will be going with it just looking like this. So ideal comps and stats on here is going to be max HP, MP recovery out of combat, max MP, MP recovery in combat, and MP recovery modifier. And then defense is going to be important because Ajax does scale on defense. And then we will be going with toxic shield recovery modifier with this too. So nice and easy over there. For your cores on here, you will want to be going with defense as much as you can because that's going to be the main thing, and HP will also help you out with survivability, so that's all that matters with Ajax. Next up, we are going to have a quick look at the Arche tuning tree. Now this tree is going to be conventionally a little bit odd. So first we're going to start off by going down, and we're going to go over here and we're going to pick up enhanced defense because Ajax is a defense type Pokemon. Next up, we will be getting some firearm attack and some weak point damage over here. We are going to be going all the way up to the Colossus. We'll grab our crit rate. We will also grab crit damage as well as enhanced firearm attack on here. And then we're just going to wrap it all up with the activate thrust. Mutant cell, just for a little bit of movement speed whenever we use a clash type skill with Ajax. So simple. This is the tree that you are going to want to go with. We've got 2 more extra slots over there, so we're just going to grab some more firearm attack. That's what's going to basically work best with this. Next up, we will have a quick look at the Thunder Cage. Now the Thunder Cage for bossing specifically is going to look something like this. Electric on the top, Colossus on the second. You could go with firearm attack, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Crit rate or crit damage, I prefer rate personally when I'm running this, so that's just what I've gone with. Fire rate at a 20% is going to be an essential. Sprint speed 19% is completely fine, or 20 is good. Other than that, you can use a grapple core if you want to get around a little bit faster. For your substats, electric, crit rate, crit damage, Colossus is pretty much what you want. Or you could also go with weak point on there or firearm attack. That would also work out quite nicely. As for the Thunder Cage build, this is kind of what I've gone with. The main important part of this will be multiprocessor. When using a dimension skill, Ajax has a 100% for weak points damage for 15 seconds, and then when using a tech skill, 100% for firearm critical hit damage up to 15 seconds. And these effects are stackable, so it's a nice kick of DPS just on Ajax because he does use both dimension and tech skills. Now with this as well, sharp precision shot, especially for how long we will be shooting, and it does scale up with Ajax's damage. Then the rest of the mods are just crit mods, and then element mods over here, and then just some fire rate and some firearm attack. With Ajax, this is pretty much all you're going to need for the actual Thunder Cage. Next up, for the Inversion reinforcements, you can go with the skill cost one up here, or you could go with the cooldown one, completely up to you. For the health inversion, you can either go with the health one or the defense one over here, so results may vary on that front. I personally prefer the health one, but you can go back and forth with your own testing if you would like. Next up, you can also go with this one over here for max HP, so this will help you recover a little bit better, or you could use the orbs or something like that. Inversions aren't really too important in this setup specifically. Next up, let's have a quick look at the Ancestor mod before we get on into some gameplay. So for the Ancestor mod with this is going to be pretty much what you would want with Ajax. When it comes to Ancestors, I've got a Ancestor here with defense, skill cost, and an attribute, and I would basically just replace shot focus for that. The main thing you want on the Ancestor mod will be defense at the very highest stat you can find. Other than that, duration up is also going to be quite nice for this build. Skill cost would be cool for this too, because ideally we just want quality of lives for this build. So that would pretty much just be what you would want with your Ancestor mod. HP on here would also be quite nice if you want some extra survivability. So in terms of what Ajax is capable of, just something along the lines of that. But the most important stat on this will 100% be defense. That is going to be where you would want to grab yourself the survivability and all of that, and also scale your abilities up. As you can see here, we have 350k defense, which is just about over the cap, I believe, so this is going to work out quite nicely. Now for Ajax gameplay, let me start off by showing you some wall crasher gameplay that me and Apocalyptos, one of my homies, did in a public lobby. So Ajax for Grim Reaper, or Wall Crasher, sorry, is going to look very, very similar. So with this, the main thing is, if you look at my loop, I'll just quickly restart the clip for you so you can pay attention to it one more time. The loop that I go for with my abilities is ability 1, ability 2, ability 3, and then ability 4. Now, once you do this, you basically just want to hog his leg, and you want to constantly be in contact with Warcrasher, is the main way that this is going to work. Once you've got that, you just keep an eye on the buffs on the side of your screen, and whilst you're doing that, you can just keep spraying and just hitting weak points, or just hitting the Warcrasher or the Grim Reaper, and you're gonna absolutely melt him. The crits might not seem as high or anything like that because they're not a 100% crit or whatever, but I promise you, this is absolutely melting him. Even here, once you keep an eye on your ammo, once you notice that your ammo is basically stopped regenerating, then you go again, you enhance your 4, and then you just go back into the loop of 1, 2, 3, get your bar full, and you just keep spraying. Even if you see non-crits all the time and stuff like that, don't worry about it, because you are doing damage. With Warcrasher, you are going to want to dodge his phases and stuff like that too. But even in this setup, just in a public lobby, Warcrasher has gone down in 54 seconds. And in terms of my DPS, let's have a quick look at what we got done. Between me and Apocalyptos, myself did 2.25 billion damage with Ajax in a Warcrasher in 54 seconds. And I think Apocalyptos said he managed to do 1.3, but he was messing around with his build, so skill issue. Other than that, let's quickly have a look at the Grim Reaper. So in a duo, if you do slap Grim Reaper together, this is what you would go with. Same story here. I was doing my 1, I was doing my 2, I was doing my 3, and then once we go all the way up to Grim Reaper, we pull off the 4. We're enhanced 1, 2, 3, and now we just spray into him. Grim Reaper gets absolutely annihilated by this, especially because of the element weakness as well. So basically, Supply Fortress and the first ability with Ajax as a duo is absolute cinema. This is the cinema you want to be seeing. Now, with this as well, you can see in a duo, me and Apocalyptos here managed to get a nice and easy 22-second kill with Grim Reaper. So there you go. That works out pretty well. When it comes to solo, however, I was on copium, and a lot of it because I was on drugs and I don't know what I was doing with my loop. Over here, I used my first ability, and then I went in with my 4th ability for some reason, and then my 3rd ability. I enhanced my loop again there, then I did my 1, I did my 2, and even with 2 bars, for some reason, because I don't know what in the ever-loving daylights I was doing, I didn't have my fire rate increase, and even despite not having my fire rate increase and literally throwing the gameplay of this run, I'm still melting Grim Reaper. And even here, I managed to get myself a, what was it, a 35 second run, and that's without my fire rate increase. If you do get a good lineup of RNG and all that sort of stuff, you can 100% beat Grim Reaper in under 25-30 seconds. This, even as a 30+ second kill, is probably the fastest or one of the fastest things to do solo, just because of how easy it is. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that you need to know for Ajax for bossing, at least. When it comes to running a solo, I don't see why you should run anything other than an Ajax and a Thundercage at this point. They really did well with the Thundercage rework, and well, they wanted Thundercage back in the meta. They got what they wanted, because this thing is an absolute beast. In terms of everything else that this has to offer, you could technically change the element on the Thundercage and make it run with other elements, but I still think electricity is going to be best because it has that built into the weapon. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I make plenty of videos on the first Descendant, and I would tell as many people as I can, invest in this Ajax, because it's a lot of fun, a tiny learning curve, but once you got it down, and most people at this point already do have it down, you're gonna melt, and you're gonna have plenty of fun, ridiculous damage, big numbers equal testosterone, and we're basically gaming. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!